18 in our notes, and we're going to continue on. We're going to continue multiplying mixed numbers. I'm just going to say continued because this is a continuation of the notes. Let's do another example. 7 1/3. So I'm going to write it 7 1/3 times it by 3 3/4. 3 3/4. Notice how I wrote it where the whole number takes up 2 lines and the fraction nice and neat. So what do I do with mixed numbers? I have to do the check mark method or the backward C, something that allows me to change our mixed numbers into improper. 7 times 3 plus 1. Some of you can do this in your head. I'm going to write it out. 7 times 3, 21, plus 1 would give me 22. Over what? What's my denominator? Same denominator up there, 3. I'm going to multiply, and I need to do the same thing here. 3 times 4, and then add 3. 3 times 4 is 12. And then if I add 3 to that, I get 15 over the same denominator up here, which is a 4. Now I'm ready. It's all set up with fraction times fraction. Simplify and multiply. I actually see that 3 and 15 can be simplified. You can divide them both by 3. When I divide them both by 3, it gets smaller. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 15 divided by 3 is 5. Remember, I like to circle those numbers. Is there anything that goes into 22 and 4 to make those smaller? I can divide them both by 2. Divide them both by 2. 22 divided by 2 gives me 11. 4 divided by 2 gives me 2. 11 times 5 on the top and 1 times 2 on the bottom. So I have 55 over 2. And what is wrong with our answer? It is improper. We have one more step. 55 divided by 2. 2 goes into 5 2 times. Notice I wrote that right above the 5. 2 times 2 is 4. Subtract. I get a 1. I bring down the 5. 2 goes into 15 7 times. That gives me 14. Subtract. I get a 1. That is my remainder. I want to make it a mixed number, so I'm going to make a fraction. The 1 goes on the top over what I'm dividing by, the 2. So 27 1/2 is my answer. Draw a line. Let's do another example. You might see multiplying mixed numbers with a dot instead of an X. A dot is another way to show multiplication. So I'm going to move this up. 10 4/5, and then there's a dot, which also means multiplying 1 2/3. And I'd like you to try this one on your own, and then you can check back to the video to see how you're doing. If you need to pause it, that's fine. So when I did the first one, I got 54 over 5. And the second one, I got 5 over 3. And you're still multiplying. If you want to use the dot, you can, or you can put the multiplication sign. Now you're ready to simplify and multiply. I can see both of these 5s could be simplified down. We can actually make them both 1s. Some people see it and some don't. 3 actually goes into 54. Remember the divisibility rules. If you add 5 plus 4 together, that's 9. And 9 is a multiple of 3, so I know 3 goes into it. So I can simplify these two. Divide them both by 3. That becomes a 1, which is nice because all of these are 1. So then 54 divided by 3. And if you're not sure, you may have to divide out to the side, but that's 18. Now you're ready to multiply across. 18 times 1 and 1 times 1 gives you 18 over 1, which is 18. And why did I do so many examples here? Well, dividing fractions, which is the 6th grade standard, you will essentially multiply. And so you need to be able to understand multiplying fractions and mixed numbers. So this assignment is very important to understand what I would like you to do here. So on this homework that you are going to be doing here, there is a front and a back worksheet. The front is actually like a 5.1 worksheet, and the back is like 5.2 is what the worksheet's called. So you're going to obviously be working on fractions and mixed numbers. So on the front, I would like you to do 5 problems. And on the back, I would like you to do 5 problems. And then after you do those paper pencil, just like I showed you here in the notes, then I want you to check with the calculator.